Peterson Cascus.
Peter, I'm Ray. Good to meet you.
You too.
You have 5 laps with me in the McLaren now. It should be nice and fun. It's going to work very similar to what you just drove. You understand how the paddle shifters work now. The shift points are going to be different in this car. The gearing is different, the engine, everything else. So I'll guide you through where you want to make the shifts to get the most out of the car when we're out on track. So you get a nice rhythm. I'm always going to tell you the same points as we're going around the track.
Great.
Okay. Other than that, it's pretty much going to work the same way. You've kind of found out in the other car you don't just mash the gas, you roll into it nice and smooth. It's going to be the same thing. You get a lot of power on tap. Whenever I say accelerate, just roll into it. Of course, if I want you to go full throttle, I'll tell you that. Just roll it all the way to the floor.
Yep.
And you got an idea from the other car the difference between brake and brake hard?
No.
No? Okay. Well,
I was just like regular brakes and.
No, you're going to have to brake hard in this car.
Okay.
You got quite a bit of power on tap.
Right.
So normally if I say brake, I want you to treat it kind of like somebody cut you off in traffic. You feel a little bit, but nothing too crazy. If I tell you to brake hard, I want you to get on the brakes hard and firm and hold them.
Okay.
If you're doing it right, I'm actually going to tell you to get off the brakes at a certain point, and then we'll be using the balance of the car to get through the next section.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Sound good?
Yes.
So, nice and happy mode here. So with your foot on the brake, click the upshift one time. And we'll go ahead and pull up behind the Audi there. You're doing the same thing, just waiting for a clear spot to get out on track. Just start spinning a little left. And we'll let him get a little ahead of us so we don't run him down right away. Okay, that's good. Go ahead and pull out. Shift one time. We're going to brake as you come up here. Wait for, you want to ride that whole red and white stripe there, then we're going to turn in, okay? That'll make a big difference here. Accelerate out, full throttle. Shift. Shift again. There we go. Now brake hard. Brake hard. There you go. Downshift. Okay, now off the brake. Off the brake. You're going to hug this. Keep a steady pace. Just hug the bottom here nice and tight. Now accelerate out. Just wind up this gear. Accelerate to the left. Just leave it there. Full throttle. Now brake hard. Brake hard. There you go. Now off the brake. Bring it in. Off the brake. Hug it in. Tight. Accelerate. Stay tight to the right. Accelerate. Stay to the right. You're going to brake over the crest here. Brake. You got to brake when we're coming up over that crest.
Okay.
Bring it in tight. Now accelerate out to the left. Accelerate all the way to the left. You're going to brake hard here. Downshift a gear. We're going to pass them. Downshift. Still got to drive. Now bring it in really tight here. Hug it in tight. Twist it in. Now unwind and accelerate out. Accelerate. Shift. All the way to the right. You're going to brake here. Brake. Off the brake. Turn in. It's a straight line out to that double cone. Give it all the way out to the double cone. We're going to ride this red and white stripe. Twist it in. Twist it in tight. Feet in the throttle. Accelerate. Full throttle. All the way to the left. Wait for the shift. I'll tell you when to shift. Just keep your foot in it. Now brake hard, downshift. There we go. Now off the brake, hug the bottom, nice and steady. Just hug it, accelerate. Just wind up all the way to the left here. Just wind up. Now brake hard. There you go. Now off the brake, bring it in tight to the right, hug it in. Accelerate, stay to the right. We're gonna brake over the crest, brake. Off the brake, bring it in nice and tight, hug it in, nice and smooth. Now unwind, accelerate out to the left. We're gonna pass him again, pass him. Brake hard, downshift. Brake it really hard. We're going to bring it in nice and tight here. Hug it in. Accelerate out. Unwind, accelerate out. Full throttle. Shift. All the way to the right. We're going to brake. Off the brake. Turn in. Straight. Give it a little gas to that double cone. All the way out to the edge. Keep it going. Nice and smooth. Now try not to cross over that. Twist it in. Full throttle out. There we go. Full throttle all the way to the left. Just keep it in it. And shift. There we go. Brake hard, downshift. There we go. Off the brake, bring it all the way to the bottom. Just hug it nice and steady. Hug it. Now accelerate. Try not to cross onto that red and white. It's slick. Brake hard. Off the brake, bring it in tight to the right. Hug it in. Nice and smooth. Wait to get on the throttle there. Get on the throttle. That's what's pushing you out. Okay, now brake a little bit. Bring it in nice and tight. Hug it in. Accelerate out. Nice and smooth. Accelerate. All the way to the left. Hard here, follow the Porsche, downshift. There we go. Now bring it in nice and tight. Hug it in. Unwind. Accelerate. Stay behind it. Yep. straight through. Just drive your line. Get it all the way out to the edge. Give it a little gas. Go all the way out to the edge. Okay. Now start accelerating. Nice and smooth. Accelerate. Accelerate. Full throttle. Full throttle. Shift. There we go. Shift again. There we go. Now brake hard. Brake hard. Hard. Downshift. There we go. Now off the brake. Bring it all the way to the bottom. Just hug it nice and steady. Hug it. Hug it. Hug it. Now accelerate. All the way out to the left. There we go. Now we're going to brake hard here. Brake hard. There we go. Off the brakes. Bring it in nice and tight. Hug it all the way in. Nice and tight. Tight. Accelerate. Stay tight. We're going to brake here. Off the brake. Bring it in nice and tight. Now feet in the throttle. Nice and smooth. Feet it in. Accelerate out to the left. All the way to the left. You're going to brake hard on your way down. Brake really hard. Downshift it here. There we go. Off the brake. Bring it in nice and tight. Hug it in. Now unwind. Unwind and accelerate out. All the way to the right. Shift. There we go. Now brake. Brake. Off the brake. Turn in. Nice and smooth. Straight out. There we go. Brake a little more. Bring it in nice and tight. Hug it in. Hug it in. Hug it in. Accelerate. Unwind and full throttle. There we go. Full throttle now.
That felt
Brake
really
for the
good.
shift. Yep. That's where you want to be. Now we're going to brake hard. Brake hard. Hard. Downshift. There we go. Now off the brake. Bring it in nice and tight. Hug it in the bottom here. Hug it. Hug it. Hug it. Wait for it. Push it in a little early. You feel that?
Yeah.
Just wind it up. Now brake hard here. Brake hard. There we go. Off the brake. Bring it in nice and tight. Hug it all the way in here. Hug it in. Now feet in the throttle. Accelerate. There you go. Now brake over the crest. Off the brake. Bring it in nice and tight. Slow it down a little more. A little offline. There we go. Come all the way over here to the left. So you want to slow down a little more there.
Right,
We're going to
right.
go straight here. We're actually on a, going back into the pits here. Yeah, you want to make sure you slow that down a little more going into that.
Sorry.
Okay.
Cool.
So what'd you think?
It's gonna take a lot more laps to get comfortable with that.
So now you got an idea what it's going to start to get like when you get up to that next level, when you get in the Aventador. So we'll follow this around nice and easy. Going down and shift it here. Once we get it back around, yeah, just downshift a second. We're going to go all the way around to the front side of the tongue. We're going to downshift it first. So you'll get an idea, you know. You still have another car, I think, before you get into the Aventador.
Hopefully
So
number two.
So kind of, you know, try to use those as practice. You got an idea how things are going to come up quick.
Mm-hmm.
Big things that are going to help you when you get in that car is smooth and getting the braking zones right. Because you
Yeah.
saw with the power, it picks up speed very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go on the very last opening here. Twist it in here. We're going to twist over here. Just stop right there. So, control this car. So you got an idea now.
Yeah.
So when you hop in the other cars, the big things you're going to want to practice before you get to that is, you know, staying on line. Obviously, you're going to carry more speed.
Yeah.
When you carry more speed, obviously the brake zone's going to become critical.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure you get enough in on the brakes. It's better to brake a little more early than late.
Mm-hmm.
That's always, you can always, if you're on the right line, you'll always make it to speed. It's not a big deal.
Sure.
If you try to brake late, you're going to be offline and it's really going to slow you down.
Right.
So you're doing a good job with that. Just, you know, stay on top of the brakes, and that'll help you out. And then just keep it in line.
Great.
And you got a couple more cars to practice with,
Yes.
that with, and you know, have fun.
Thank you very much.
Okay.